Hey there, Alex here. Let me start off by saying this. If you're watching this video to see if you should buy the Mi 5C, the answer is a big no. Because not only is the phone exclusive to China, the phone is also pretty unremarkable in most aspects. However, if you're watching this video because you're just curious about the phone like I am, then welcome to my review of the Xiaomi Mi 5C. The Mi 5C only has a single purpose for its existence, and that is to showcase Xiaomi's in-house chipset, the Surge S1. So let's start with that. This is a mid-range chipset using ARM's Cortex-A53 cores in a big little configuration. It's an octa-core chipset with 4 1.4 GHz cores and 4 2.2 GHz cores. But unlike the Snapdragon 625 or the Exynos 7880 that's built using the more modern 40nm process, the Surge S1 is built using the 28nm process, which puts it a little bit behind in terms of power and efficiency. On paper, Xiaomi did show these benchmark comparisons that puts the Surge S1 above the Snapdragon 625. But in my time with it, I still found Qualcomm's offering slightly superior in terms of real-life usage. In the Mi 5C, it's also coupled with 64GB of storage and 3GB of RAM. In terms of performance, it's a little bit sluggish compared to the Redmi Note 4X. While gaming, things are generally pretty smooth, but opening apps takes a bit longer and I see dropped frames every now and then. But before we write it off, I think it's important to acknowledge that for Xiaomi's first effort, this is still a pretty remarkable achievement. It also helps that the phone itself is a pretty decent looking thing. The rear of the phone actually looks quite nice with the metal finish and glass accents at the top and bottom. I really like the relatively small size of the phone too. The front houses a pretty good looking 5.15-inch Full HD LCD display and a home button with 2 capacitive buttons at the bottom. This is where things start to go south for the Mi 5C. The home button is a physical button that doubles as the fingerprint sensor as well, but because it's so thin, it's rather uncomfortable to use. It's obvious that Xiaomi knows this too, because they even put in a setting to allow the button to be used as a capacitive home button, which really makes me wonder why they made it a physical button in the first place. Software-wise, it's running MIUI 8 on Android 6.0. There is a developer version that is on Android 7.1, but not on the stable release, which is completely fine since MIUI is so heavily customized anyway. The phone doesn't come with any Google services out of the box since it's only available in China, so you'll have to sideload them yourself. It's a really simple task, but since it's not quite official, I would avoid using it on my main personal Google account. Other than that, the phone is also filled with more Chinese apps than the global version of Xiaomi devices, which probably slows down the device even further. Another downside is that in Singapore, 4G connectivity doesn't really work out of the box. I had to tinker around with the engineering mode and then manually key in the APN settings for my carrier to get it working. The rest of the phone hardware is also rather unremarkable. The speaker is at the bottom, which sounds just about average. The battery has a capacity of 2860 mAh, which lasts me just about a day of use. It supports Xiaomi's own fast charge technology at 9V and 2A through the USB Type-C, which is nice to see at least. The rear camera is 12MP with f2.2 aperture and face detection autofocus, which captures decent but unremarkable looking images in all lighting conditions. Images tend to be a bit more grainy in low light, which is the result of pumping up the ISO and using faster shutter speed because the phone lacks optical image stabilization. If at this point in time you're still not convinced that you shouldn't buy this phone, let's talk price. In China, this costs around $220, which is more expensive than the Redmi Note 4X I reviewed earlier. The Note 4X might lose out in camera and display quality, but it has a slightly better chipset in my opinion and better all-round performance. Or just get the Mi 5, which you can probably get for around the same price, which is superior to the Mi 5C in almost every single way. Unless you really love the design of the phone and don't care about anything else, or you are a fan of Xiaomi's products and want to support the company's first chipset, this is a phone I would not recommend getting. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, and see you guys on the next one.